Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. And peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. I was watching this video, Genesis the 10th chapter breakdown, Pastor. It's about 2 years old. I was at the 31 minute mark, and Apostle pretty much said, Esau, he knows that the things that's written in the scriptures is true because he went and he dug those things up. Esau goes, and one thing about Esau is he researches, he searches out the matter. But it tells you that in Ezekiel 28 and verse 2, it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus. Now the prince of Tyrus was the king that was over us at that particular time, what king is over us now? Esau, Edom. And see, Esau, he takes the playbook and he embodies the mindset of all the previous empires and all of those kings, mainly the ones that's written in the scriptures. He embodies them, because he's the most wicked. The heathen kings, they were all wicked, but Esau is the most wicked. So it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, which, like I said, this represents Esau, Edom today. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. That's the proof that it's talking about Esau, Edom. Because Tyrus, the prince of Tyrus at that time, he must have looked at himself as a god, which the scriptures tell you, I think it's Psalms, the 9th chapter, that the nations are just men. They're not gods. The only gods are the Israelites. But Esau, he's famous, so-called white man is famous for doing what? For painting himself as the Messiah, the Son of God. So it says, Thus saith Yahweh power, because thine heart is lifted up. Thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not God, though thy set thine heart as the heart of God. Meaning what? He goes and searches out the things of the scriptures. That the heart of the Most High is found where? In the scriptures. He goes and searches out the things of the scriptures, even though this doesn't even pertain to him per se. Besides the prophecies about the wicked and them being destroyed. But he said his heart is the heart of the Most High. He put the Bible as if his book. He painted himself as if he's the Heavenly Father. He's Jesus. He's the Messiah. It says, and he did it in the midst of the seas. Now the seas represent peoples, nations, kindreds, and tongues. You can read that in Revelation 17 and verse 15. Now the point is verse 3. It says, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from thee. So there is no secret that they can hide from this man, Esau, Edom. He went and searched out everything that's written in the scriptures. He's carnal. He doesn't have faith. That's another reason why he went and dug those things up, because he's a carnal man and he doesn't have faith. What is faith? Read Hebrews 11 and 1. It tells you that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So he got all this wisdom to search out all these matters in the scriptures, but he didn't know he was an Edomite. And that was the thought that came to my mind when I was watching Apostle Tahar's video. You search out all the, literally, man, you got all this science, you know about molecules and microscopic this and, all these things that's going on in outer space. And like the apostle said, where, these archaeological, historical sites are, but you didn't know you was a Edomite? We had to tell you that? No, you knew you was an Edomite, but you tried to hide yourself. This is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 28. It says, when righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. You see, when the wicked rise, a man is hidden, because the wicked is Esau, Edom. And the man that was hidden is himself. When the wicked rise, the wicked hide themselves. That's pretty much what the Lord is saying. When the wicked rise, the wicked hide themselves. And he covered the nations, because like Elder said, he knows the scriptures is true. So what he did was he looked at the biblical names for all the nations in the scriptures, And he said, we got to do away with these names. In our empire and in our blessing, as we have control over the earth, we have to push forth a propaganda and a narrative of reality that is not based upon the scriptures. We have to confuse people. So Moab is no longer Moab, they're Chinese. The Japanese is no longer the Japanese, the Japanese is no longer Ammon, they're the Japanese. The Arabs are not the Ishmaelites, they're the Arabs. And why did he do this? It's Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. And that mountain represents governments. Mountains represent governments. This mountain in particular that put a veil over the nations, that put a deception over the nations, is the so-called white man, America, Esau, Edom, the beast, the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, and then the revival of the Roman Empire, which is America, NATO, and the EU. And he would destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. So he put a covering cast over the people. Let's go to this word veil.
Strong's H, 4541. Masecha. Masecha.
Masakah. It says, first definition goes into something else. Second definition says a web. Right, a web of what? A web of lies. He put this covering cast, this web of lies over all the people. And it started with that false image. It started with iconoclasm. It started with the Renaissance period. When you read Revelation, the 20th chapter, that's what it's talking about. Let's go to Revelation 20. And 1, it says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and a great chain in his hand. This represents the Dark Ages, which the Dark Ages was a time when the so-called white man had a great chain about them because they were not able to, they were pretty much subject to the Israelites, to the dark nations. But they were Negroes that ruled Europe. So a great chain was on him. He was bound from what he's doing now. It says in verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So Yahushua bound him 1,000 years during that time period. It says, which is from around 300 AD to about the 1300s. And cast him into the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. So he was bound to not deceive the nations. And after the 1,000 years, he will be loosed to do what? To deceive the nations. And this is where the covering cast, the veil, the web of lies comes in. It says covering, web, veil, or woven stuff. It says a cast image, a league, a covering. Chaldee, Hebrew Chaldee. It says from the root, Nasar, a covering. So he put a covering of lies over all the people, to hide himself. He's trying his damnedest to not be discovered, to not be found. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. The Wadi Habashim El Shai. Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 and 10, it says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, because he tried to hide himself in secret as far as his identity of being Esau. Why is it important for him to not be Esau? Because Esau is the wicked. Now he found out that there was a time period when he ruled Egypt, so-called white man during the Ptolemaic dynasties. He found out all of that information, and he was not afraid to set him up as the Egyptians. He even has movies where he's the Canaanites. We was just watching a movie with Elder Big Gad and it was Samson. And they had a Samson that was a Jake in the movie, but the Canaanites was so-called white people. So hold on, you could be everybody, in the Bible except for the Edomites, man. But see, we have uncovered that you are the Edomites. You are the wicked. You are the mystery of iniquity. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. How? With the truth. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So once you're found, then the Lord's going to take you out. Once you're found, then Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to take you out. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So the Lord is consuming you first and foremost with the truth. Then it says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Then he's going to destroy you soon come. Okay, when he cracks them clouds, he's going to bring fire and rain it down on America, Babylon the Great. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. This is all a part of that covering cast. You know, the image of the beast. That's a part of the covering cast. The image of the beast, which is what? His philosophies that he pushes, his way that he pushes on the world. Westernization, Americanization, democracy. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. So the people are going to be taken by his lies, the ones that are not meant to be saved, the ones that are not believing on the love of this truth. It says, verse 11, for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Because Esau's got these people in a, what do you call it? He's got these people hypnotized. You know, he's got these people in a trance. It says they're under a strong delusion. They believe whatever the TV says. The TV, it's like a mechanism of hypnosis. You know, the TV, the radio, he uses these things to hypnotize and basically to control and steer the minds of men into what? Into wickedness, away from the path of life. It says that they might all be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So this man, Esau, you funny, man. You know, you're a funny guy. You know everything in the scriptures, but you don't know that you're an Edomite. This is Job 13, verse 4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. You see? Because you ain't nothing. You supposed to be, the so-called white man is supposed to be the top biblical scholar on the earth, right? But here it is. If you go to the so-called white man and say, man, I feel like, you know, I really want to understand life and this and that, and I just need to know, you know, which nation is the wicked, so I can be on the lookout, man. You know all this stuff about the Bible, but you ain't told the people who the wicked is, so we can look out for the wicked, so that he can be revealed in his time before the Messiah comes back. That's why Job said in Job 13, verse 4, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Lord, this edifying. Got to go back to work. Brother Yaquam, Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.